How to make a woman feel safe with you. Understanding how to make a woman feel safe can be beautifully explained through a story. Let's dive into the tale of a man named John. Now, John wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob. He was just an average-looking guy. He didn't have a six-figure salary, he wasn't towering over everyone, and his wallet wasn't bursting with cash. However, there was something special about John. Not only did women flock to him, but they also wanted to cuddle up next to him, and often fell head over heels in love. So, what set this seemingly ordinary man apart from others? The secret lay in his ability to make women feel genuinely safe around him. If you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Anna Jorgensen, and you've found yourself on Just the Tip Tuesday. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I always emphasize one critical point. A woman's primary need, both physically and emotionally, is to feel safe. And as you might already realize, women don't instinctively feel secure around someone they've just met. But let's circle back to John's journey. After years of facing rejection, being friend-zoned, or dumped after a couple of dates, John decided it was time for a change. He began taking small but meaningful steps toward becoming more authentic and assertive when interacting with women. So, what exactly did John do differently? Well, he started by being a touch more assertive, but at the same time, he made it a priority to ensure that every woman he approached felt safe, especially during those initial moments when she didn't yet know him. For instance, imagine John meeting a woman named Ashley. In such scenarios, he would position himself slightly to the side, avoiding blocking her path. Why? Because women like to know they have an escape route, no matter where they are, but particularly if it's nighttime or in secluded areas. By doing this, John communicated nonverbally that she could leave if she needed to. But here's the twist. While giving her space, he'd also subtly place himself between her and any potential threats, like a suspicious-looking stranger nearby. This way, he provided both protection and freedom. John would even verbalize his intentions, saying things like, "Don't worry, I've got this. I'll protect you from that creepy guy over there." These simple actions made Ashley, and other women he interacted with, feel physically safe and deeply understood. Most men overlook these nuances because they're too focused on their fear of rejection. But if you truly want to connect with women and attract them effectively, it's crucial to shift your mindset and see things from their perspective. Because Ashley felt protected and valued, something fascinating happened. She began developing feelings for John, even though she hadn't been initially smitten when they first crossed paths. Interestingly, whenever John opened a conversation with a playful comment like, "Don't worry, I'll shield you from that creepy guy," he often received encouraging responses, such as giggles or laughter. These reactions signaled that she was open to engaging further. However, if she didn't laugh or reacted negatively, John never took it personally. Instead, he assumed she might be having a rough day, or perhaps dealing with bigger challenges in life. Regardless, he always ended the interaction gracefully, saying sincerely, "Have a great day." This gesture softened the moment. If she had reacted poorly due to her own struggles, she wouldn't carry guilt about it afterward. Over time, John's approach not only helped him build trust but also created opportunities for deeper connections. Imagine a scenario where someone might feel a bit down after an interaction, but they might brighten someone else's day by being kinder later on. However, if this person is going through a tough time, it helps someone like John filter out individuals who might not be worth his time or effort. This way, he avoids getting entangled with people who could be more trouble than they're worth. By the way, have you ever made someone laugh with a great opening line? If you have a comment or a pickup line that has worked well for you, share it in the comments below. We can all learn from each other. Think of yourselves as each other's wingmen, not just me as your wingman. Now, let's dive into the key points. John was always mindful of how women prioritized their physical safety. His consideration for this was one of the initial factors that attracted women to him. However, what truly made them fall in love with him was his ability to create a sense of emotional safety without being overly nice or a people pleaser. Emotionally healthy women, the real keepers, the high-value individuals, are the ones who fall in love with a man who can make them feel emotionally secure. On the other hand, women who are drawn to bad boys or true jerks are often not in a healthy emotional state. John learned this the hard way. He experimented with a few relationships and realized that being a jerk only attracted women who were, well, kind of jerks themselves. So, he made a commitment to be a strong, assertive alpha male without veering into bad boy territory or becoming a beta male. He made decisions, took calculated risks, and was always honest, even when he knew the truth might not be what she wanted to hear. Women respect a man who can make decisions, take risks, and stand up for himself. John understood that respect comes before attraction. A woman can't be attracted to you unless she respects you. He took small steps in various areas of his life to become more assertive until it became natural for him. Once it felt natural, he became competent at it, and eventually, he grew confident. For example, he might say, "Hey, I'd like to take you out to dinner. What's your number?" when meeting a girl for the first time. Or if he had known her for a while or was already dating her, he might say, "Wear something nice tonight, I'm taking you to a fancy restaurant," instead of hesitant phrases like, "Hey, do you want to hang out sometime?" or "Where do you want to go?" These hesitant words convey uncertainty about himself. When John displayed confidence, he received a confident response from the women he interacted with. He might say, "If I don't get that promotion I deserve, I'm going to start my own business," or "Yes, I did notice that scantily clad woman," any red-blooded male would. "But no, I wasn't flirting with her. Why would you go for mutton when you have steak?" Or "No, I'm not a fan of your friend Jane, she's catty and makes you feel bad." John learned to be a straight shooter, honest and direct in his communication. John came to understand that women truly value men who display strength of character. They tend to lose respect for those who lack confidence, are overly agreeable, or constantly seek approval. If you haven't watched the video where I dive deeper into this topic, I highly recommend checking it out. I'll include a link at the end of this post. But here's the key: John was never rude or arrogant. He knew that men who act like jerks might catch the attention of women who aren't looking for anything serious, but those kinds of relationships often don't last. Instead, John chose a balanced approach. He was dependable without letting people walk all over him, attentive without coming across as desperate, kind with his compliments without seeming insincere, respectful while still being truthful, and accepting of women's imperfections while also being brave enough to call out behavior that needed addressing. That last part is crucial. Holding others accountable shows maturity and self-respect. On a side note, think about these qualities for a moment. Which of these traits do you feel you might need to improve in yourself? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to share them in the comments section below. What's inspiring about John's story is that he wasn't born with these traits. He worked hard to develop them, and that means you can too. By cultivating these qualities, John earned the admiration and affection of the kind of women he genuinely wanted to build a future with. He raised his standards, and because women could sense his authenticity, they naturally trusted him. Trust is a big deal in relationships. When a woman trusts and respects you, she feels secure and is more likely to be drawn to you. For example, imagine meeting someone who is honest but kind, confident but not cocky. It's easy to feel comfortable around them, right? That's the kind of vibe John created. Now, changing yourself isn't easy, it takes courage, and John's transformation didn't happen overnight. He took it one small step at a time, and that's a great lesson for anyone looking to grow. I'm not a fan of the dive headfirst into the deep end approach, especially when it comes to building meaningful relationships. Sure, if you're following advice from a pickup artist, you might get quick results, but those results often attract the wrong kind of partner, someone who isn't interested in a lasting, fulfilling connection. If your goal is to find a partner to settle down with, without compromising on what truly matters to you, then it's smarter to take gradual, intentional steps toward becoming more genuine and assertive. That way, you'll attract the kind of person you'll be excited to wake up next to every morning. If John's journey resonates with you and you're ready to take similar steps to find the right partner, I invite you to explore my Wake Up to Love program. I'll include a link below with all the details. Also, a huge thank you for sticking with me until the end of this post, or even revisiting it, as some of you do. That means a lot to me, and it also helps spread the word. When you engage with content like this, it signals to platforms like YouTube to share it with other people who might benefit from it, just like you. So, thank you for being part of this community. I truly appreciate you, and I can't wait to connect with you in the next video.